Hey, everybody! Super good morning to everyone. This is Kevin Chan here. Just came back from the excursion yesterday night, right? So now, this early morning, nothing much to do. So, owe you guys the June QiMen forecast, and we're gonna complete the June QiMen forecast today before I disappear again. So I'll be going to Cambodia soon. Okay? Yeah. Life very tough, have to travel all the places. Right, so we have already entered the month of June, 5 days into the month of June already, then only we are doing the achievement for the month of June for everybody lah. Right, so we're doing it right now live in YouTube instead of Facebook, because why Facebook hated me. It's getting more and more difficult to set up the Facebook page. Okay, hello LW, hello Cindy, how you guys all doing? Right, so can see that you all are joining in the morning. So it's a pretty heavy rain morning this particular morning. Hello GB, hello Kelvin, how are you guys all doing? Right, hopefully doing well. Right, so now let's complete this particular session. Then later when I come back to Cambodia, I will share a little bit on the experience on the excursion itself. Right, so now to share some photo, let you guys see some videos, maybe only. See, hello Susan, good morning. Right, so now interesting. Right, so far start work. I'm never stop work one. Right, so you different ma. Hello Stuart, hello Pepui, how are you doing? All right, come, let's get into this. Let me shrink myself down to the smaller version. This time got chat already. See, got chat with the wrong side. See, got chat. YouTube got chat screen. Facebook no chat screen. Okay. So that's why the other day, you see a black color box there, forgot to turn it off. Okay, come, let's go into the month of June, right? So like usual, Telegram, you can get in touch with me there. There's a one to go, right? So just join. There are no asking permission or all those things. You just click join channel, then you can join the channel already, right? So then there is the monthly newsletter, right? So now I will do a publication on the excursion itself on the monthly newsletter, just to explain some salient point to people, right? So fine, you can basically go in and have a read. And of course, the community channel that we have. So I'll be posting some of the excursion photo into the community channel as well, so that you guys can also be a bit happy and, of course, to let you all see what did you all miss. Right, next excursion, remember to sign up. Right, so this is your QiMen Destiny, and Typing Astro is the one that supplied it, and those people who are in the excursion actually get to meet the programmer of Typing Astro. Right, which is also a Evan Qigong master, right? So his lineup for his Qigong session, Qigong healing session, was very long, but he only served the ladies, like guys, doesn't get to line up. Too bad. Right, but anyway, you can go into your Typing Astro, you can print your destiny chart, which you can find that there's a destiny box. So for those of you who are newbies, don't know how to use QiMen chart one, this is entry level usage, right? So then for those more advanced one, you will know that there are different boxes represent different aspect of your life. You can also use that aspect, right? So for those of you who are in the excursion, I've produced a report that tells you about your next year wealth forecast, your health forecast, your relationship forecast, and your general destiny direction forecast. We have discussed that in the excursion itself. Yeah, we talk about that in the excursion, exclusive. Right, so that's where you're going to start off with, and this is the QiMen chart for the month. So every month the QiMen energy changes. So whichever sector that you are focusing in, you would definitely be experiencing every single star. You'll be experiencing every single door. You'll be experiencing every single deities. You'll be experiencing every single stamp in different combination over the year. So that's why there's actually no need for you to be formal. Whichever box you are looking at, all the star, all the stamps, all the deity will visit that box one. It's just when only. And of course, the combination of the visitation will give you a different effect. Right? So that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to understand the effect of the combination. right? So individual pieces, I already have the QiMen Essential playlist inside. You can go and learn that, right? So we are at the juncture of looking at stars, right? So we have done looking at all the doors, we have done looking at all the deities. So we are looking at the stars. Later we'll go into looking at the stamp. So once that is completed, then I will go in and explain some of the famous combination, right? So there are some of the famous combination and their usage, right? So then we can go into salient things like, you know, how to apply a reading, right? So those kind of things can only be done after you have the basis, or else, you know, I start talking, you start getting lost. Right. Just like when we were looking at the feng shui formation, you know, up on the hill, I point there, everybody looks somewhere else. Only after a certain amount of taking picture, drawing on the picture, then ask them look, then only say, oh, now I see. Right, so those are discovery. Okay, right, so we're gonna take a look at that. So this is the month of horse. All right, so this month is the month of horse. So horse reside in the south. So this is also some feng shui information for you. Horse is residing in the south. So if you have the compass, all the 24 animal sign is distributed on this 8 particular what we call your direction. So the horse occupied the south. So we'll go into the south side first to take a look at the situation. Right, so you see now, always when we take a look at it, you know, the death door has been putting in a bad label. The death door always got a bad label inside, so it signifies. Now again, please don't literally go and translate the death door as, you know, someone will die. That is not how you read. Right, so death door is just a terminal point for a process. Right, so there is a starting point in the process, there is always a terminal point in the process. Right, so which means that there's a start, there's an end. So after the end is basically another cycle of starting. So when you see the death door in any boxes, which means that there are certain things that is happening around you that required a hard stop. That is all only, it requires a hard stop. So when this death door is together with ambassador and earth, so you guys know ambassador and earth, so we have, I will explain ambassador stars. I think yes, ambassador I will explain already. So ambassador and earth, both of them are a little bit more money centric, or let's say value centric. Value centric, you know, they have to do with resources and access. So certain resources will stop working. That's all. Right, so certain resources will not working. So when we know that certain resources are gonna be stopped, so which means that all this while maybe you have certain people has been giving you support. Right, so like for example is that all this while the F&B industry in Malaysia, a lot of the F&B industry uses what we call subsidized petroleum gas for cooking, the gas for cooking, right? So there are the subsidized version which actually is intended for household to use, but a lot of businesses, small businesses, they buy this subsidized household gas tank and use for their business, which is not correct one. You're not supposed to do that. So for businesses, they are supposed to buy and use non-subsidized gas tank, which is at least 3 times more expensive. So the Earth Ambassador Death Door means that there are certain resources. So I don't know what resources you're relying on, but that particular resources is gonna stop working really. So the thing to tell you is that, you know, what is your actual backup lah. So if you have very high reliance on somebody to give you stuff and you have never matured to actually acquire the stuff on your own, then you are in big trouble, right? If that is the case, so if it's a case whereby, you know, you're already mature enough, you already know, then you plan for the transition, that's all lah. Right, you plan for the transition that you know that this particular subsidizing or this particular protection is gonna reach its end point already. So it's time for me to grow up in terms of this particular resources. So that's why this one is talking about resources is actually reaching the end point already. So what's the next line of it to do, right? So now again, if your businesses or the way that you go through life is that, oh no, somebody must protect me, somebody must, then you are in deep shit, right? So if you're the more mature type, is that okay, you know, my parent has been taking care of me for such a long time already, you know, right now I'm 20 over years old, it's time for me to go out to the world. So the parent side support is no more already, I need to go out to the world, it's time for me to mature up, man up and go and see the world, then it's completely fine. So you will basically know that, hey, this is the thing, right? So of course now again, advanced type, if let's say that this is your wealth palace, let's say this is your wealth palace, then this is definitely money related. So it's talking about resources where it helps you generate money all this while certain resources is not going to be available anymore, right? So the ambassador actually allow you to renegotiate. So you need to go and learn how to do renegotiation, right? So if you see the hexagram, now pure hexagram means that there's layers of things happening. So it is not a one-time event. So it is a layering event. Observation basically means that, you know, don't panic. It's time for you to learn the situation. Take a look at which direction for you to go. Right? So you shouldn't be panicking over this particular situation. Please don't be those type of person who's, oh, you know, it's out of my control. No, oh, I cannot do anything about it. Like most small businesses is no, oh, cannot you raise the price, I can't. Yes and no is the thing, you know. It's like all this while, why don't you do things in the manner whereby it is supposed to be proper, right? Yeah, you have to ask yourself, like for example, also, you know, right now our country is going through a process. Like right now only they start telling you your employment contract need to be stamped. Isn't that 101 that any contract also need to be stamped for it to be valid? Now the, you know, company said, oh, I got so many employees, every single one need to be stamped. That's a lot of money. You're supposed to stamp them and you did not stamp them, and right now you're going to complain that, you know, the authority coming to catch you for not stamping. I don't know how lah. Right? So it's, you know, authority tell you right now is that, no, all things need to be stamped. You know, go and stamp. E-invoice application also is the same, you know, all this while, you know, right now they want to keep track of all the transaction that's going around, so they implemented this e-invoice. No, don't complain, right? Get it done, right? So although the implementation can be way improved by the government, I agree with that, but it's a necessary step, right? So go and check out what are the resources that's going to be cut off and what is your next step in terms of continuing with the thing. So complaining not going to work. Right. This one very easy to solve because the stem is a yit and ping stem. It's very easy to solve. Right? It's not difficult. So of course, if you are stubborn, then I can't do much. Right? So now I can't help you with your stubbornness. Okay, right? So Southwest, Southwest, take a look at it. Oh, all black, gone now. Right? So no, why? So what happened now? Now always when you have the tortoise, right? So now when you have the tortoise around, you always need to know that a lot of time, whatever that you perceive, you see, you feel could be wrong. Just tell you that first, right? So tortoise is very good at creating mirages, right? So it might not be correct. So when you have fear, your fear may just be your own imagination or your own delusion, right? Your fear may not be real, but this also means that you can create fear that is not real. Right, so you know, this is where you take a look at it. Destruction means that a constant changes that's happening around, right? So it also means that the constant changes that is happening around, maybe it's not something that is too real, right? So there are certain things that is happening around right now. So can you see that this entire palace represent a person whereby their mindset is in such a jumble situation? It's actually really a hallucination scenario. So for a lot of people, this is actually very dangerous because, you know, a lot of people does not have the actual grounding, right? So when things started to shift, you know, you just panic, right? So this is like natural disaster hitting you, right? Natural disaster coming to hit you, you know? So you become in a very panic situation. Yeah, no, I'll give you an example, you know. It has been widely right now, almost every single master that you see will start to use this thing, right? Which is the crimson horse and also the red goat, right? So the Bingwu and also Ting Wei here, to give you the ultimate scare that, you know, doomsday is coming. Now question, do you actually understand what is happening or not? If you don't, then, you know, all this doomsday thingy that tells you, you know, it's like, you get scared, you know, then you go and buy some trinket to protect yourself, then too bad. Right, it's those type of situation. It's those type of situation happening, right? So it's like you know, the bomb coming down, you know. So now it's like the place has already been bombed, but the people are all, you know, it's the shock of the explosion, you know. You still hear the ringing sound. It's like the SWAT team throwing the flashbang into the room. right? So you become disoriented, right? So all this kind of things is happening. It's scary or not? It is scary, right? So it's about, you know, 人归 is a trap, is a trap. Both of them is basically called Heaven Jail and also Heaven Jail Earth Net. 天羅地網, right? 天羅地網 means it's a trap, right? So this is really throwing out a flashbang to chase people out of the room and then capture them. It's this sort of situation. So if your intention is to create chaos, then a perfect what we call sector to you. But again, for normal people, this one actually is very disorientated, right? Plus DE, hidden horse, some more, hostile, some more. So things happen, things don't happen, things happen, don't happen. So you become super confused. Right? It's a super confused palace. So to me, if this is your, let's say it's your destiny palace, chill. That's it. It's just for 1 month only. No matter how confused it is, it's just for 1 month. So if this is your, let's say this is your wealth palace, then you know your financial, right? So your financial. Now this one I can say that it is sometimes what we call paper loss. Right? So your share market coming down, you know, then you know it's look like you're losing a lot of money. But in actual sense, no, you don't lose money until you sell the thing one. Until you actually sell. So if you're buying a company which is like, I give you a very good example right now. Elon Musk and who's the other white guy? Donald Trump is having a fight. Right now. So Donald Trump said that, you know, oh, not gonna sanction Tesla. So what happened? Tesla share go down, right? Now, so imagine what is the cheapest way to buy back your company share? Is it go to the market and buy? If you go to the market and buy, the share price will go up, right? It's to talk to your best buddy here, you know, who is happen to be the United States president, and hey, we all do a fight on public, right? So then you sanction my company, so the share price will tank. When the share price tank, what happened? Then I start buying back all my share, because I know that my company direction is gonna go. You know, I have to buy back all my shares so that, you know, I can. This is what you can do with this sort of formation, you know, is to create public fear. Right, create public fear, you know, everybody, you know, things like that. Then I get to buy things cheaper, right? So I get to induce a discount, right? This one is a good palace to use, right? If that is your basic tactic, right? If your basic tactic, then you know that is what you want to do. Cool, right? So no Southwest. So again, see all black doesn't mean it's bad. It's how you strategize to use it. Excuse me, but for normal folk, probably a bit scary, right? So if you're not that type of people who are very tactical with using things, could be a bit scary, okay? Right, so come, let's take a look at my mouse disappear already. Right, let's take a look at West. West, you got Tiger. Now Tiger, always if you see Tiger mean exertion, right? Tiger always mean exertion, which means that you are pushing beyond your physical limit. Right, so you're pushing beyond your physical limit, right? So now this one, a lot of time, because this tiger is together with open door, right? So this tiger together. So just imagine, right? Your door is open, you don't know when the tiger is coming into your house. A bit scared, right? So no open door, right? So no, people see open door, see that, no, oh no, this one I'm gonna have opportunity, new job coming in. This job is together with tiger, right? You know, it's not gonna be easy job, right? It's not gonna be easy type of job. So of course, tiger is always beneficial for those people who are in the physical trade. Physical trade means that, you know, you're a sportsman. Last time is good if you're a soldier. If you're a soldier, tiger give you super courage to fight through the situation, right? So this one, tiger with open door, means that you can ram the city door, right? Ramming the city door so that the city door will be open, right? So this one with assistance side is somebody will open the door for you some more. Right, so just be careful with what you start, because the open door representing starting. So because the formation, if you take a look at it, is a trap dragon receive punishment. So because it's the imagine the dragon, Wu Earth always represent Jia Wood. I'll just tell you first, because Jia Zi hide in Wu Earth, so Wu Earth will always represent the Jia Wood inside, right? So it's like Jia Wood together with the sin metal, which is not good lah, right? So it's again, sin metal is self-induced problem, right? It's a self-induced problem, right? So this one is a self-induced problem. But if you take a look at the hexagram, small livestock mean that, you know, this is not a big deal, and waiting is that, you know, if you have patience to see the situation, right? So then it's all right. So now just be careful. Boulder split in half also is because of small cracks only. right? So take a look at what is the situation. This combination, don't go for surgery, right? Open and tiger, don't go for surgery. Chances of you having uncontrollable bleeding is very high, right? So don't basically go for any sort of surgery when you have this sort of combination. Open door together with tiger. All right, so just be careful of that. So again, if you're a sportsman, if you're trying to do some breakthrough, right? So tiger is always very helpful. You need the additional juice to get past the line, right? Sin is internal dispute. You can call internal dispute lah. If you're reading dispute, sin is usually self-induced problem. Geng is externally induced problem. So geng is more dangerous because geng you need to handle. Sin you can just suppress on your own. You give yourself a slap. Sin you can just give yourself a slap. Stop creating problem for yourself. That one you can do that. Sin very easy to fix one actually. But for some people, sin is very difficult to fix because they got zero discipline. Okay. What if West is Wealth Palace? West Wealth Palace, tiger open door mean that you overspend. That's all. You practically blow your budget, right? You practically blow your budget. That's all, right? Then don't blow your budget, that's all, right? So which means that you'll probably put in, like, because you see it's small livestock, right? You'll probably put in too much money for very little return. Not worth it, right? Not worth it. It's like your friend said that, you borrow 100,000 to me then 3 months later, I'll give you back 10% return. Okay, you are putting 100,000 onto the table for a small amount of return. So what if the fellow run away with the 100,000? Understand, right? So it's big amount of money for small amount of return, which is not very good. Right, acupuncture. Okay, why suddenly JLo got acupuncture? Okay. Don't understand your context of asking about acupuncture. Right, so you mean what you call your healing acupuncture? Acupuncture okay one go. Any sort of no, so you just don't cut things open, that's all. Don't cut things. So open door is because it's called exposure. Right, so even tiger with open door you can get with a very nasty infection, right? So depend on what you go. So acupuncture, my worry is a different worry. So Northwest, see everything good, yay! Right, everything's basically good, okay, right? So harmony with hero always indicate your ability to connect with people who has great influence. They got a great public appeal, right? So basically people of a name status, right? So it's always good, right? So these two together, and together with rest door mean that you need to let things work out. Now working with people who has reputation, working with people who has celebrity status, it's not something that you can demand anything to do, right? So it's not something that you can basically demand anything to do. You need to let things happen, right? So now a lot of people really don't know how to do this, right? So it's like they go into the thing, I want to do they demand things to happen, and they're demanding things on people who are way higher status than them. They basically go there, they beg people, you have to help me, I am in a difficult situation. No one cares about your difficult situation, right? You want to work with people with status, right? You need to work on their timeline, and more importantly, what value do you bring in? So rest door here is tell you, you chill. Now you're friend with this particular person. That person will help you when the time comes, right? So because you can see that the hexagram is not yet accomplished, which means that whatever relationship you have right now, you haven't established anything, right? So but it changed to quadrant, which means that times would actually help you in simmering this relationship into something that is useful. So that's why a lot of times I say that as relationship you need to establish when you don't need it. You don't try and go and find relationship, find backing when you need it. It's too late already. So a lot of time you need to build a lot of things, bring a lot of things to the table when you don't need it, when the other party doesn't need it. So when things come into a balance whereby you need them, they need you, then it clicks very easily. Okay, right? So now this one we got last time Chinese got this story, right? So Chinese name is 拔苗助长. 拔苗助长 is pulling the sapling in trying to make it grow. So there is this farmer, right? So this farmer, after planting the thing already, right, sitting there, you know, waiting for it to grow. So you know, if you didn't done farming before, after planting, what happened, man? Nothing happened. Wait, it grows a little bit, it grows a little bit. So one day the farmer decide that, you know, I will help this to grow by pulling them so that they become higher, right? So after one day of pulling all the sapling, he see that, you know, all of them seems like it has grown higher already, very happy. You know, I've done some work. The next day when you come back, all die. Right? Please don't do that. Right? So when you are building a relationship with somebody who is higher status, you don't go and, you know, try and, you know, oh, you must help me, you are successful. I've seen this a lot. Right? People come for class or come for session and then say that, oh no, you know all these things, you have to help us, you know, we all not so good people, you know, you have to help us so that when we are successful that time, there's no this type of exchange. No one want to help you. Just put it in a way, because you yourself have nothing to come to the table to exchange. There is no help. No exchange, no help. World is just basically an exchange platform. Okay, so pretty simple. So if you're in that particular process, you know, you want to establish yourself, so which means that you already have somebody that you want to establish with. This is a good palace for you to use to start the journey of establishing the connection. Not for you to chase after the connection, to start the particular connection. Okay, right? So this is basically what you want to do, right? So this is good for, you know, forming your alliance, you know, forming your connection with people, right? So pretty interesting palace to use. Okay, North, let's take a look at North, right? So North, you got the grain. Also, every time you see grain star, it's like, no, get sick. So again, please, the grain star is a sickness. Is just one small little representation in the entire portfolio of things that grain is in charge of. Okay, grain is in charge of a lot of things. By the way, the grain represent a lot. By the way, it does represent the word a lot. Okay, right? So the grain represent, let's say, farmland. Farmland is a lot. It represents the army training camp. Army training camp is a lot of people, right? So the sickness also is accumulation of a lot of problem. That's why you get sickness. So that's why the green star represents accumulation. It has to represent a lot of things. So of course, you know, this one together with the live dog. Now together with live dog means that, you know, long time also cannot die lah. No, if you really is diagnosing sickness related matter, means that, you know, it's not time to die yet. Do not means you are not suffering. Okay, so together with the moon mean that there are certain hidden issue. Moon also represent hidden issue, but the good thing is that can be find out. So if this is the palace and you are going through a process of trying to find out your health issue, good. Okay, if you're trying to find out your health issue, this is very, very good. Okay, so you can use a lot of this what we call situation to basically go through the process. Now just be careful, because the QiMen is like the water killing the light. It's like the water killing the light itself. So it actually means that the entire process right now is on a downward dimming situation. So you can see humility into the dimming light. So humility is basically to tells you, you know, to face reality. Humility is actually a very reality type of hexagram. For you to know that, you know, probably the entire idea of, you know, being human is very fragile, right? So all this kind of situation, it actually tells you that, you know, it's a time for you to do a bit of a step to the backside. You maybe not. Moon always is working on the back end. It is not working on the front end. Right, so if this is your wealth palace, you know, it's called quietly earn money. If this is your wealth palace, right, you're gonna earn money where other people cannot see one. Right, so what is relationship? Why Alison always asks relationship? Right. Alright, so now like moon together with live dog, if this is your relationship palace, then, you know, it is basically again quietly continue a relationship at the back. That's all. Just quietly continue a relationship. Then together with the grain star, your relationship probably got some baggage. That's all. Right? So, you know. Okay. So moon is behind closed door. Moon is just subtle, passive behind. Right? It's just that. Moon is just basically a quiet thing, you know, which doesn't attract attention. That's Moon. It's pretty simple only. All right, so no, this is basically yours one, right? So again, live dog is here. You know, usually you talk about, you know, hey, you know, making money is good. Yeah, making money is good, but making money quietly, right? Making money in a very quiet manner, right? So now, like this one combination is again something that's very scary. Snake with pillar. Now, snake with pillar always is information. Information is, you want to say wrong also can, you want to say is inaccurate also can. Snake with pillar, very easy, is scamming already. Super easy to get into scamming, right? So, you know, then together with harm, if harm represents sales, right? So now this one, in Chinese last time, we got this thing called Sing Dong Kik Sai, right? Hitting the drum on the east and then attacking the west. So this is the one of the tactic whereby, you know, they send a group of people to the east side and then they start hitting the attacking drum, right? So the army drum. So all the people inside the city thinks that the attack is going to come from the east, but in actual sense the attack is coming from the west. So the west, they quietly come and attack. So this is Sing Dong Kik Sai. Right, so you can see that this is a very strong deceiving technique. So in sales, you know, so if harm you change to sales, mean that, you know, I'm doing those kind of things, you know, oh no, that one is no good, this product, you know, is not good, right? So I'm creating a lot of misinformation about the other guy. Then, you know, I say that, oh, my one is good, you know, I'm trying to sell, I'm actually trying to sell you this, right? But I force your attention to go over there, you know, it's like halfway it's a scam, right? The relationship is behind closed door. I would say that the relationship is in a stage whereby, you know, nobody cares. That is the closer one to do, right? So that's the closer one to do, right? So if you take a look at the hexagram, now following in sales is actually good. A lot of people basically, you know, buy to your thing, but poison. So you know that the thing that you're selling, eventually the people will find out. Yeah, right. So this is like, you know, this is like a lot of those investment scam. A lot of those money game. A lot of the money game is basically this. Right. So, you know, go in, tell people, you know, how much you can, you know, get back. Right. Right. So, tell me how much you can get back. Then people come in, you know, then you run away with the money. Is this sort of, you know, situation? So now question, are you okay with losing your reputation? Are you okay with it? Some people are completely okay, right? Some people are completely okay. So this is basically using a tactical trick to win. You probably can win this particular round, but if this is a multi-round game, you would basically lose out. Okay, if you're playing a multi-round game, then you probably lose out. But if this is a survival issue, then you would win. Right, so if this is a survival issue, so this is really strong hand tactic in getting to the destination that you want to do, right? So, you know, just in case someone asks, you know, what if this is relationship palace, definitely cheating the other fella, cheating as in, you know, I feed you with the wrong information and, you know, just to get you to become my girlfriend or, you know, my boyfriend, whatever it is, right? So it's wrong tactic, but eventually you will get find out. Right, any sort of clever tactic that you ever applied, right, that give you short-term winning, eventually people will know your trick. Right, so same trick cannot work 2, 3, 4 times when you're engaging with the same people. So question, always ask yourself before you deploy this sort of trick to win, is the long-term ramification worth it or not? Right, so this is very powerful for war, right? So very powerful for war, very powerful for sales. You know, if you are going through a process of hostile takeover on each other, so if you have this, then you will be able to redirect all the attention from the investor, right? So it's like pointing a certain place. You know, that fella is doing this. You know, our company is better. You can do this sort of stuff. Right, so in the end, you are just again damaging your own personal reputation. So if it's okay, you know, you're gonna chow from the place anyway, good. Okay, right? So if not, then, you know, not really that good. Right, so you got chief, you got heart, you know, always see chief, you know, east side, you know, every time you see chief, right, you know, you always have that. Again, it's probably over advertised, that's all. You know, it's like, oh, chief is there, you know, chief is almighty powerful, you know, I will basically what we call get things done, you know, without what we call without putting in much effort. That's not the case. We see that the chief is together with delusion door. Now delusion door means that there's a lot of things that the chief may not know. Okay, right? So this one in the world of politics is called plausible deniability. Yep, right. So certain people do certain things without informing the boss, and the boss actually don't want to know one. Right. So like this one, if you ever wonder how does their empire last 300-400 years, it is not through transparency and fairness one. Right? It is not through transparency and fairness. To balance the entire chessboard, you always need to have some people who work behind the scene without knowing. Right? So this is your Gam Yi Wei. Right? So the shadow assassin, you want to call it, right? So palace always have shadow assassin. They deal with people that you cannot deal out in open. So this is the situation. So if you are the leader, you basically need to tell yourself there is certain thing, right? So like this one, if you take a look at the hexagram, you just imagine that you're having a meeting together with your people, and it's a situation whereby it's touch on certain topic that need to happen, but you shouldn't be around. It's time for you to go for a toilet break. Right? Sometimes as the leader, you need to learn how to close your eye. And it's like, oh no, leader is not like that. Exactly. Leader need to give room for certain people to do certain things. So that's why beside leader, there is always xiaoren. They know how to do this sort of stuff. East Palace fall on a wealth sector. What does it mean? East Palace fall on a wealth sector, then there are certain thing about wealth. There are certain thing about wealth that you do not know. There are certain decision about wealth that you may not want to know. Right? So like for example, right? So like for example, if your let's say that your just this one, talk only, don't come and chase after me. Your supplier or your customer is asking for certain kickback. Now should you know or should you not know about it? It's like, oh, kickback is wrong, Now, so I ask you even if the customer doesn't ask for kickback, right? You want to go there, you need to entertain the customer. That's very normal. Bring the customer, wine and dine, eat here, eat there, right? Aren't those money? Aren't those expenses as money? So tell me, if those expenses, if this customer said that, you don't need to bring me there, you might as well just give me cash. Instead of wine and dine wasting time on this, right? You want this particular deal, you might just give me the cash instead, or we all go wine and dine, waste money on this, right? One side you expense, if I just cost it into the deal, right? You want this certain amount, I just cost it into this particular deal. That's it. It's the same thing, right? These are things that you need to take a look at in terms of money if you're running businesses. Are there certain expenses that need to be spent just to facilitate this thing from moving? Ask yourself this sort of stuff, right? So delusion just means certain things that you doesn't know, right? So this one is a little bit more kicksao. It's because of the Qi and Ren only, right? So the Qi and Ren, now the stem always deal with people that you deal with, right? So that's why this Qi is dealing with some people that is probably not too clean, right? So it's either you completely don't deal with them and you destroy the entire deal. If you're okay with it, then you go ahead. Right? If not, then play the game. That's all only. Right? Just play the game, that's all only. Right? So certain thing leader should be left for somebody else's to do. So the other day, when we go for the excursion, I was just saying, right? So I bring them to one of Malaysia biggest, Tai Pakong. Tai Pakong is the first uncle. Right? So they don't know now. Tai Pakong take care of all the legal business. Then we got the Yibak here. Yibak here take care of all the side business. Both of them work together very well. Qi is greedy. Yes, Qi is self-interest. Qi is always self-interest. Right? So it's always self-desire, inner self-desire. That's Qi. Okay? Qi, a lot of time very selfish. Okay? Cool. Right? So then we got the last one, which is Southeast. Right? So Southeast pretty good. Heaven and also scenery. Now heaven and scenery, this combination is very good for share market, by the way. Right? So share market is always represented by scenery door. Scenery door represent market sentiment, which is what the share market is. Market sentiment. Right? So for those of you who are using QiMen for share, right? So you can use scenery door as a overall marking point for the direction of the market sentiment. Right? So heaven together, it give you very clear market vision. Now, clear market vision here. Now, don't just talk share market, which means that whatever industry that you're in, it gives you the ability to see how the market works, how this particular thing works. So it's also very, very strong for marketing. So together with grass, you know, grass represent business. It also represents risk. Just tell you first. Right, so which means that, you know, there is a opportunity here that you can see that, you know, involve a bit of a risk. So good lah, right? So this one is good for you to give you a good impression, right? Send good impression into the market, right? So this one, you know, things like IPO. Now IPO is all really about telling your investor that, you know, today you vouch this money to me, tomorrow I'll promise you that the price, is it really don't know don't know yet so it's all this sort of stuff, right? So if you're doing this sort of activity, then this palace will be able to help you. So which means that if this is your destiny palace, you are a bit more positive lah, a bit more gung-ho about the, you know, things. Monetary, now monetary, you need to be careful. Scenery always is a situation whereby you got see the money but actually no money. We call paper gain. We call paper gain. On paper seems like rich only, in actual sense not rich. Right, money is that, right? So scenery door, again, also if this is your relationship, it's a relationship that externally look good, the future look bright. It doesn't mean that right now it's great. All right, look good, future look bright. All right, but anyway, it's still a positive thing. Yeah, so think and scene give you self-realization of the problem that you create internally. So which means right now you got self-realization, you can fix the problem, right? That is basically the idea, right? So hexagram, very easy, didn't move, accomplish to accomplish, so which is a good palace to use, right? So this is for your, what we call this is for your entire month of June. Still got a lot of time, right? So you can select which palace you want to use to reprogram your mindset and also your brain, so you know, to see how you're going to do. So of course, if you take a look at it, the northwest seems to be a very stable palace to use, right? So then, you know, come up with some strategy, you know, sit in the northwest, you know, to do some what we call alignment. For those of you who have been to the excursion already, right now you got a secret weapon of basically doing this, right? So right now you can find your own personal energy space to actually use this particular technique. So right now you see that, oh, this month I got this, right? So then I can basically start using this already, right? So no, you won't be doing things in a random manner anymore. So every single action that you do right now is calculated. You know what is happening, you know what you should be feeling. Okay guys, right? So no, this is for you, QiMen for the month of June. So tomorrow I will disappear again until next Monday, right? So I'll be in Cambodia, right? So no, my friend was joking, right? I should do live in Cambodia. If one day I didn't do live, you all please contact the consulate of Malaysia. Not that scary lah, the country, come on. Okay guys, right? So have fun, right? So later Monday or Tuesday, I will start to prepare and share a little bit about the excursion, so that at least, you know, most of you know what is happening in the excursion, so that, you know, you got more confidence to come and join me for my next excursion. Right, so doing an excursion is gonna be an annual activity for me, because, you know, I want to go traveling, right? So doing excursion is just my excuse of going to travel only. Okay, right, so that will be doing, right? So that's it. See you guys. Bye.